Do you have enemies? Are you always afraid of them? For as long as we are in this life, we cannot avoid rubbing people the wrong way, even if we don't intend to. There will always be people who will envy our talents or resent our successes. There will always be people who will always disagree with our brilliant ideas because they think theirs are better than ours. There will always be those whose ambitions drive them in directions in life that are in a collision course with ours. And we cannot help it but be in conflict with them. There will always be people whose words and actions we will disagree with, and vice versa, they will disagree with us. It is not difficult to create enemies even on social media nowadays. And it is good to know that God gives us the encouragement we need to face even our fiercest enemies. If you have a Bible, read this passage in the book of Psalms that tells us how God gives favor to those who put their trust in Him. David, the person who wrote this psalm, declared, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." We have a place at God's table. He gives a seat next to Him. You see, throughout history, a table has always been a place of honor. The host is expected to protect his guests at all costs. God's protection in the face of our enemies is something we can count on. We can find security and refuge in His care. A table is also a place where two opposing parties are brought together to make peace, to settle their differences. There is nothing like food to help people forget their anger. It can be difficult to engage in a shouting match when you and your enemy are sharing a meal together. And this passage says that it is God who prepares that table for you and honors you before your enemies if you are a child of God. We may not be able to avoid making enemies while we live, but we can be sure that God will always be there to protect us and to even pave the way for relationships to be restored. Just trust in Him. And as we learn to enjoy our place in God's table before our enemies, may we always keep in mind, faith matters too.